Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Primite Blue Eyes deck that I just took to the CCG Regional, which was a 107 player regional. I ended up getting 25th place with a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 3 ties. So, yes, totally a lot of ties today. But I kind of want to showcase this deck list, which I think is really strong, which I think if it was piloted better, would have had a lot more success, especially with the tie games that I had. I think there were a lot of opportunities to basically just cut my losses earlier and go to the next round instead of trying to drag it out. This deck, if you want it to, can grind endlessly, especially if you have the Primite engine in rotation, which is really good. But yeah, so let's just kind of go over the deck list here. So we will start with our main deck. So the main deck, pretty simple. 3 Sage of White. It's your best normal summon for the Blue Eyes engine. Second best normal summon, of course, Barrel being the first. This just searches you your level 1 Light Tuner, gets you Maiden, gets you Effect Veilers. I had, if you have combo with like 2 in your opening hand, you can actually search 2 Effect Veilers in your combo, which is really strong, of course. But of course, that's just your best normal summon. Next, we have 3 Maiden of White, new from the structure deck. This is really good. Obviously, gets your True Light in rotation. Just very strong. Also, free body when you summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. No really explanation else needed for that. So you run at 3. We play the 2 Blue Eyes, of course. You could play 1. However, there were a couple times in today's matches where I actually had one of them banished. So the second one does come up. And we do play the trap card in here, so getting a free 2-pop is also really nice, which I did, I think, once or twice today for 2 pops, which is honestly really good, especially in the ryzeal matchup, which I played against a couple times, so that was good. Going on to our Primite engine, 3 Barrel. This is the best normal summon in the deck. This, if your opponent doesn't stop it, is just a free hieratic seal plus a on-field omni negate, so really strong. I just think it's really good. Also, once you have Blue Eyes in rotation, whether it be on the field or graveyard, this thing just keeps coming back to your hand every standby phase, so really strong. So we play 3. We play a very small Bestial package, just the 1 Magnema and 1 Drew Swarm to search off of. These are obviously seal targets. If you have Magnamut, you can either search and end phase the Druis or search Barrel, which is really good, especially if you don't have Barrel in your rotation. You can get it in rotation off of Magnamut. So really good, of course. And really good depending on the matchup. I did side both of these out a lot today. I played against some Maliss and some ryzeal. They have okay matchups against the 2. Maliss, I just side these out. I don't think it's really that great against the Maliss, unfortunately. I mean, yes, you can like chain against their own Bestial Search, but I feel like 9 times out of 10, if you target one of their monsters, obviously they plus because they can summon it back, but then also they can just chain their own, especially if they're running like a 7, main deck Bestial package, 7 card Bestial package. So yeah, we just run the 2. Onto some hand traps here. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Veiler, best hand trap because you can search it, but there is a lot of cards that go around that are dodging targeting, so you can side these out depending on the matchup, but I still think it's really good just because you can search it. 3 Nibiru. I like this card because of what you can do with it by going and using it as an extra body to get into Lina, which I did do today. But it's just one of those cards where, like, I played against Maliss. By the time you really want to drop this, it never feels good. You can either nib them mid-combo before they can go into, like, White Rabbit to set. But if they do that, they probably have an extender, so they'll get back to White Rabbit to use it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Or if you use that, like, end of the combo against Maliss, it doesn't matter because they've already plussed off of all their traps. So it's really, really rough in that regard. So yeah, so definitely sideable depending on the matchup. Against ryzeal, if you're playing against a ryzeal, like I played 4 Mitsurugi ryzeal matchups today. If they don't know what they're doing and they're piloting or they're just doing like a really weird line, this will punish them. Nibiru plus any like hand trap of Ash Effect Veiler or Imperm, stopping Duo Drive, like this will cook them if they can't get to the field spell. So yeah, so that's the hand trap lineup. Pretty small. Also comes in the structure deck, so you can get access to those pretty easily. Onto the spells. So this is an interesting package. Not really. Only one funny card here. So of course we play 3 wishes and then 1 Bingo Machine Go. I had the last round I played against, someone asked me like, why are you playing Bingo Machine Go? And I basically, the rationale is this, is that 1, if your deck would play Terraforming to search a field spell to get like a 4th copy of a field spell, why would you not play Bingo Machine Go? This is a 4th copy of wishes essentially. So it just ups your chance of being able to actually get wishes. And if you open up wishes in your opening hand plus Bingo Machine Go, well, you can just pitch this as cost for wishes, or you can use this and do a little bit of gambling, get either the trap, the other spell card, or Blue Eyes White Dragon if you really wanted to. So it's really good. Also in the grind game, so turns 3 plus. This is a really good target because you'll run out of targets very quickly because you'll usually use this to search the trap card. Or war, just depends on the hand that you have. But you do have to have a valid target to activate this. So once you've already searched out like the trap card or war, like for example, there's been turns where if I wanted to play really safe around like a Nibiru or Bastille or something, I'll search off of wishes. I'll search like roar plus like maiden or sage, whatever, and then I'll use True Light later in the combo to set the trap card from the deck, right? And so if my opponent's able to like play through my board and pass back to me, I still want to target 4 wishes for the grind game. And so just having Beam Machine is really good. So yeah, my reasoning around that. For the other one of the Blue Eyes, so obviously 1 Roar and then 1 Mausoleum. Mausoleum is a really bad brick to draw into unless you draw like 4 other engine cards. But you know, you never really want to see in your opening hand. This is really good. I think if you're playing, again, and this is my first region I played in a while, so I think if you're playing against Maliss, you could honestly side in a second one of these in your side deck. If they banish using the Bestials or using the Maliss cards, like banishing all out like your Blue Eyes can be really hard to get back into rotation. This can get back Blue Eyes out of the banish zone, which is obviously really good. But yeah, so you could play an extra 1 in the side deck. I think 1 is okay. Then going into the Primite engine, so 3 Lordly Load, and then 1 Drill Beam. Really concise. This card really good all day today. Every time I saw this in rotation, this or Barrel, I either won or drew. You just have a really grindy game. If they can't like stop you from resetting Drill Beam, it's so strong. It's just really good. And then 1 Called by the Grave. I used it once today, and unfortunately in game 3, or game 2, I think, playing against, or game 2 of round 7 of the final round, playing against my opponent, who was playing Maliss. I actually lancea them, and then they just call by, and I just kind of lose because I don't open up enough non-engine to interact fully. Or not the proper, I should say, proper engine to interact fully. Because if you don't have lancea, they just, like, Maliss just plays through every hand trap. Doesn't matter if you have, like, Imperm, Veiler, Nibiru. Like, they just play around everything. So you really need lancea, which is also why when we get to the side deck, I'll kind of give my opinions on that. But, yeah, Call by, really good one of. Obviously, I sided out going second all the time. So, yeah. Into trap cards. So staying in Blue Eyes engine first. 1 True Light and 1 Majesties. Obviously, play True Light because of the Maiden of White. And then Majesties is really good. In this deck, since we played 2 Blue Eyes, it's a pop 2. Obviously, that's really good, especially against like the Mitsurugi variant. If I just pop 2 of your cards, like I'm going to force you to keep on extending. And you'll eventually run out of extension. And just a 2 free removal on body is crazy good. For the remainder of it, we play 3 Imperm and 3 Dominus Purge. I like Dominus Purge. I would definitely, though, if like obviously the Primate cards are expensive now. I picked it up though when it was like super cheap, like Lordly Loads at like 15, and then I pre-ordered Barrel at 30 a piece. So I paid less than like $120 or something for like the total engine. So it wasn't that expensive for me. And I picked Dominus Purge ups when they were like $10. So I think it's, in my mind, I keep on thinking it's a cheap card even though it's expensive. But I would definitely say if you have more of a budget, just Mole Charmies in the main inside. I would have had a lot more luck seeing a Mole Charmy than Dominus Purge in a couple of my matches. The matches I did see this against Mitsu Ryzeal was good. Also, the secondary effect, if you already have a trap card, is good. But yeah, overall, I just kind of find it mid. Unfortunately, it does nothing against the maliss, which again, the last 3 rounds I played of the regional, 2 of them were maliss, which is really good because I like playing against maliss. I think it gives you good experience while going first to play against. Obviously, going second against them, you just always lose because, like I said, unless you're playing some type of goo, you just always lose. But yeah. Onto the extra deck. As far as extra deck goes, I think for the blue eye stuff, it's pretty standard. But yeah, so we play 2 spirits. Your Link 1, really good card, searches Mausoleum, and then can special summon blue eyes from hand or graveyard. Really good. Play 1 seal, gets you into Magnum or gets you into your Primite engine. So really good, right? If you're usually, I'm summoning this if I've already have Primite, so I usually just get Magnum to search Druid Swarm for that. But there are some lines you can play if you're just playing pure blue eyes, the pure blue eyes portion of the deck. You can extend a little bit to be a little bit greedier, so you can summon this plus a spirit. I never do that. I think getting this in the graveyard is rough, even if it gets you the barrel in rotation. I think it's a little rough, and I rather them just. It just depends, but yeah. 1 Lina, and I'm playing a access code package, which I really wish I got to use it more today. I didn't do it a single time, which makes me think I want to get rid of them. But at the same time, like, I think it's good. Like, in theory, like you have a ton of spellcasters. We play 9 spellcasters in the main deck, up to 12 if after siding, depending on what you side in. So like you have a lot of targets for Selene. Obviously, spell cards are abundant in the meta for the most part, so you're gonna usually have 3 somewhere in rotation from your opponent's field and yours. And then Access Code Talker. It's a 1 pop 5300 beater, which you can use itself as cost to attribute itself for an additional pop if you really need it. I play this package specifically for the Blue Eyes mirror match, although I didn't see a singular Blue Eyes player today, which was unfortunate. From what I heard, I was apparently the only Blue Eyes player that played all 7 rounds. Again, I got top 25, but yeah, so in theory, this is really good against the Blue Eyes matchup because you can pop True Light. They can't do anything about it and then wipe their board. Lina, on the other hand, really good. My favorite interaction today with Lina was using it to summon back my opponent's Detonator and then just getting a Detonator with a free material after a special summon. So really good card. I also use this as bait. One of my draws I had was against a branded player. And they used all their extension, and then they got out the Fusion Dragon or whatever. That's a 3-time Omni Negate. And then using this to basically, it's mandatory chains. So it's like using this, and I nib them, if I remember correctly. So I had like Nibiru, and then like a additional normal summon. Go into Lina, activate Lina, they have to chain to it. Go into battle phase, crash, activate Lina, they have to chain to it. And so now for 1 body, I get to get rid of 2 activations on that, which is good. But yeah, so I think Lina is a good card. If anything, these 2, Selene and Access Code, I would take out. But I don't really know what I would want to put in quite yet. You could play the like the Crimson Dragon package, but I just think it's bait. So I don't know what I'm doing. Typhon, I summoned it once today, and in the game I summoned it, I won. So I'd say it's good enough for winning me a game. So keep it in there. 3 Spirit Dragon. I think 3 is good. You can definitely play 2. I did have a point today where I did have all 3 in rotation, which was nice. Especially with a lot of things in the game right now do activate in the graveyard. Mitsurugi ryzeal activates, which, in the graveyard. So obviously, chaining a free negate, which is not once per turn on the negate, is really good if you have multiple copies of it. So yeah, 3. You could definitely cut down to 2 though. 1 Lightstorm Dragon. I didn't summon it a single time. In theory, it's good because it's just level 9, so it gets back, and if it's destroyed, you get to reset a trap or spell. And again, I play it for the theory that you're going to be playing as a Blue Eyes because this is really good into the mirror match to destroy True Light. 1 is Eyes. I didn't summon it a single time either, but again, in theory, it is really good because it's a Synchro 9, so you can get into it with your engine very easily. And then targeting protection for dragon and destruction protection, so really good. Plus it has a hidden effect that no one ever remembers, that during your standby phase you can special summon back Blue Eyes White Dragon, which if your True Light gets punished out of rotation, so for example, like if you for some reason have 2 spirits on the field, you can tag 1 out into ultimate, 1 out into this one, and so even if they out your True Light, you still have protection against this, and then during your standby phase you can bring out the Blue Eyes, which will trigger back the Maiden, which can reset True Light and do everything all over again. So in theory, it's really good. Mirror match, it's really good because they can't target anything. And then destruction against ryzeal, in theory, is really good as well. Then the 1 ultimate. 1 is okay. I've never felt like I needed to. The games usually end before you would need to newt 2 copies. So yeah, so really good. Floating effect is also good as well. And then 1 Neo and 1 Tyrant. These are really good. Tyrant Dragon is just a good board wipe if your opponent isn't playing, carefully, unaffected by traps, so it's pretty good. Then for the side deck, 3 Artifact Lancea. Like I said, when I saw it, it was okay. I played 2 Maliss today. One time I got to resolve Lancea, which was good. They just pass turn back. It's a turn skip, like I said. The other time, which if they didn't have the cross out or called by, I think Lancea would have been really strong there. So yeah. 3 Droll. I didn't know what to put in the side deck. This actually came up because I played 4 rounds of Mitsurugi ryzeal in a row. And every time that you just side this in, I had one of my Mitsurugi ryzeal matchups where I just drolled him on his turn, pass back to me. I don't OTK him because he interacts well enough. I pass back, and then I just roll him again, right? Pretty good card. These were the slots that I didn't know what to put in before the regional started. And looking back on it now, this is just 3 Chaos Hunter. I didn't have any Chaos Hunters to put in, but this is just 3 Chaos Hunters. I don't think there's enough justification to put these in the side deck right now. Technically, yes, against the mirror match, it's good. Just getting Feather Duster forces out your opponent to interact. Same thing with Lightning Storm. It's just a 1-for-1 trade. So if you open up enough non-engine or enough engine, getting a free, 1-for-1 trade is always good for that. Talon and Thrust package. I don't know how much I like these. I do like the 2 talents. I sided them in. I saw them a couple times. It allowed me on a couple of them against one of the Maliss players I played against. It allowed me to extend well enough because I was able to do most of my board, look at their hands, and then kind of go from there. So it was pretty good overall. I think definitely worth to play. The Thrust, I don't know. I would take it out probably. And then Strike. I actually really like Solemn Strike. I think this card is insanely good. I sided it in every time going first, and every time I saw this card, it was high value. I sided again one time against Mitsurugi ryzeal, which in game 3, to put in perspective, the first 2 games he got Nibiru'd, 2 times in a row. And so I think we had in game 3 we got to it and we started trading like interaction, like my hand traps for some of this stuff. And so I think he just wanted to play a really safe board. Going into, I went first, he went second, of course. I think he just wanted to play really safe. And so he went for a 3 material detonator, which I just striked, and then he just kind of loses. Probably a big misplay by him, but I think you should probably suspect people are running strike. But it's just a really good card. So yeah. That is all of the deck. Like I said, I ended up going 3 wins, 1 loss, and 3 ties. Ending up 25th place. Like I said, I think this deck is pretty competitive. I played 6 meta decks today. I played 4 Mitsurugi Ryzeal, 1 branded, and then 2 maliss, Bestial Malice. And I would say this deck performed pretty well against all of them. I would say, like I said, if I was a better pilot on this deck, all the draws definitely could have won. Just needed to pilot the deck better. Still learning it. Need a better side deck for Malice, of course. And yeah, I think the branded game that I drew, I wasn't prepping for branded at all. And I forgot that they have the 3 Omni Negate guy. So yeah, but overall, pretty good day for the regional. So yeah, see you next time.